Hey, what's up, everybody? This is not good. Andrew Callaghan accused of, I guess you could say, like assaulting or pressuring, or it's so terrible. It's like, does anybody not like R word people anymore? Like, is that just something that all successful men do? Like, what? Oh, I say R word, but it could be, you could, I guess, whatever you want to call it, assault or pressuring or coercion, right, is the word that I keep hearing, like just trying to coerce women into doing things they're not comfortable with. And it's like, what's crazy is like, first, I mean, it's all crazy. It's all terrible. And I feel horrible for the victims who have to like, who had to see him. At least I feel like now they're getting a little bit of a voice and it's getting some traction. But like to feel in the back of their minds, like, man, they've been assaulted by this guy or coerced into like doing things they were not comfortable with. And like now they're seeing him like have his big moment and, coming out with this new HBO documentary and yada, yada, yada. So that sucks. Where was I going with this? Darn, I don't know. But yeah. I was saying it's crazy that it's like that this lady, that this woman came out, kind of exposing and sharing her story and why she doesn't think this is the dude she sees having his moment is a great dude. She explained why, and it's like, damn, dude, like, is there not anybody out there like successful people that are successful men who are not like doing this type of thing? But it's like, no, not only that, but it's so much worse. And it's like, dude, and like Andrew Callaghan, is how you say his name? I feel like I hear Callaghan and Callahan, but this dude is like, he's on top of the world in a sense. Like, it's like, he seemed like such a cool guy, he had his All Gas No Brakes YouTube channel, and then that thing fell apart because like the owners of that wanted it, and then he started his own Channel 5 thing that really grew into something quickly. It seemed like he built up quick, and then he went from that to do his own HBO special, right? I'm sure there was lots of things along the way, but that's kind of HBO special, his HBO documentary, but that's kind of like what happened in it. And it's like, dang. And then I saw his age. I'm like, this guy's really young. Wow. Like, what a dope, super cool, non-problematic dude. And then it just like, okay, not only is that one lady, but now there's all these other stories that I've seen. I saw it on this dude's, I know he's very popular, but Vosh, I think it is. He covered it very, very well. But it's like, when I saw his video, he covered like talking about all these other women and girls that were like saying, yeah, he's kind of a creep. And not only that, but he has a reputation for doing that. Now, I don't know if I don't know that this is all 100% true. Like I said, this is like, there's firsthand source, there's a secondhand source. This is me learning from the secondhand source, but it appears to be the case that like a lot of girls and women are saying like that. This is what this dude was doing. He was like, that was his MO. He would like, there's more than one person I think that has said that. Yeah, he claimed that there was like a falling out with his crew, and now he needs a place to stay. And not only does he need a place to stay, but he needs like, he's gonna do some trying to make a woman do things that they don't want to do, and like pressure for them and almost like begging and like just being a creep and forcing himself on these girls and women. And not only that, but I heard this detail that he also covered, talking about that he would have a list of these girls and women that would do this act. I don't know how much I can say on YouTube without, but basically that he would had a list of women and girls that he knew would do an act for him that they did not need to have reciprocated to them. And that in its own, assuming it's all consensual and everything's legal, I feel like kind of helps paint and I don't know if it was, because I think I also saw something about like a lot of these were girls like underage. So, but I'm just saying, even if doing that part, even if it was totally consensual and legal and all that stuff, it kind of shows like the pattern and like the character and like kind of what this guy kind of gets up to, I guess you could say. So, excuse me. it all seems like it's lining up from all the stories and just the details and the fact that it's like coming from all different places. But last I heard, I was watching a clip of I think it was an H3 Ethan's. I think it was like a member. I think it was a member stream, and I was catching bits of it because I was doing something else, and he was talking about how, Andrew Callaghan is doing like really bad right now, and that he's like in a psych ward. He's not doing well, and it's like, do you like, is this something he was like dealing with internally, or is he just like having a mental breakdown because he's been exposed and he feels like all his wrongdoings are being brought to light and he's freaking out, or his career? It's probably like a bunch of stuff just crashing in on him. And, he probably, because that thing was fast. It went from like, oh my God, he's got his own HBO documentary, the dude from YouTube, and, the super creative dude. And then boom, it's like, and while you have that light, let's also shine a light on all these, terrible things that he was up to. And I know some people may think like, oh, that's super convenient. Why now? Or why is this getting traction now? Why did the victims come out with this type of thing now? And it's just because, I mean, it all makes sense. Like, yeah, he's got the biggest spotlight on him now, and that must feel super crappy to be a victim and then see him having all the success. So now is probably when they're going to feel it the worst. And not only that, but I think that him having the spotlight also helps, them come forward. Like, it doesn't help them come forward, but it helps their, I feel like it helps their message come across. And they probably feel the worst in this moment right now when he's having like, hey, everything's all good, everybody loves me, everything's good, and and these victims are probably seeing it like, no, dude, like, this is not the person everybody thinks he is, and people are just loving the guy. So it's just wild. Oh, and then also on that stream that Ethan was doing on H3 was that he said that he had been talking to Andrew, and that he said that he was in the psych ward and all this stuff, and that he said, yeah, I wish I knew the extent of exactly what he was agreeing to, but basically Andrew said, yeah, what you're hearing is all, I don't know if he said it's all true, but like I said, he is confirming that. So, I mean, for what it's worth, I mean, at least that helps stop some of the harassment and judgment, and I'm sure all these negative things that are coming to these victims that are coming out. And it's not to give Andrew props, because like, I mean, none of this would happen if you didn't, like, assault, women. So yeah, him saying that it's true, I feel like I don't know, because this was, like I said, this was like on a members stream, and I don't know how like what the reach of that was, but hopefully it does get out so that people don't harass these victims that are coming out with their story. Hopefully they can feel, I don't know if validated is the word, but a little bit like, yeah, that's what I was telling you, that way, I just, because we know every time a victim comes out, they're always going to receive some sort of harassment, and people are just going to be, calling them things and just, doing the opposite, like going against them and saying, that their story isn't true or whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's the same stuff that I feel like always happens. But let's try to find out to see. All right, here we go. I think I found the clip where he kind of talks about it. So let's see exactly what he was saying that he did.
First, I just wanted to make sure that he told me he was like at a psych ward. He was not doing well, and he was having panic attacks and stuff. And first of all,
I don't doubt that he was. Like I said before, like when I first heard that, I just felt like, but why? And I'm not trying to say anything about that. It's just like, I'm just curious as to the feeling that it like, is it about feeling horrible about the victims, or is it about like a self, like, oh my gosh, my career is being destroyed, or is it just being like a shock of being exposed to everyone? I don't know. But yeah, just a thought I had.
To make sure that he was safe, that he wasn't going to hurt himself, that he was with people that cared about him. Obviously, I don't want him to die. I'm hoping none of y'all think he should die for this, do you? And so I did confirm that he's doing okay. So that was a relief to me. Again, I'm not
I
defending
think
him.
Ethan's saying this because he's his buddy and stuff, but like, I don't know if people. I'm not gonna say anything.
Believe those victims.
I'll say it. I don't know if people like actually like care or should care about that right now. I mean, good. I'm like he said, like good. I hope it's good that he doesn't hurt himself, but that's not really what this is about. But like I get it. I get it. It's his buddy, and he cares from on a personal level. But for everybody else,
they came out with their videos. So what was I saying? Well, what I was going to say before y'all jumping to conclusions is that he confirmed what they're saying is true. Okay?
I guess he doesn't. Well, let's see.
Oh, fuck.
I was like, I wonder how much of it. Not that it matters, because most likely, I mean, he's saying it. So many other women and girls are saying it.
And you know what I mean? He confirmed that he knew the girls and that he had encounters with them. So right out the bat, you know what I mean? He was pretty open, and basically that's what I wanted to hear, right? Like he confirmed that this stuff basically happened. What do you mean he's gaslighting me? He literally told me it happened. Like,
I mean, if that's all he was saying, I mean, would you be surprised if most of it, if not all of it, were true?
Guys, listen. Oh no, the abusers isn't mentally well. Listen.
yeah. I think that's. I haven't seen this, but I think that's what most people would feel at hearing that.
I know it's not about him being the victim, but I don't want him to die. Okay, like I have a obligation.
It's just Ethan's probably in a weird spot because that's his buddy, you know.
Human being,
but
to another human being.
We're not his buddy, you know what I'm saying? Those like, that's you know, that's their own thing.
Not like suicidal, and I'm just gonna not check on him. Like, you guys got to pick. Anyway, what the fuck? I gotta stop reading the chat. Y'all are getting in my head, stun locking me. Yeah, don't look at chat. Fuck. Now I know what it's like to be stun locked. But anyway, it's not about him, right? So, sorry, I gotta stop reading chat.
I think is that all he said? I don't know if he actually confirms anything other than like that. Ethan said that Andrew said that he's admitting that he had encounters with some of the victims that have come forward. I'm assuming that he's probably wording that as carefully as possible to try to find some sort of balance of like validating the victims and trying to minimize the damage and like guiltiness that he's putting on himself. You know, there's obviously gonna be repercussions. You know, there's obviously gonna be consequences that come from this. You know, so he's probably trying to. Is it right to say like he's trying to hedge his bets a little in that sense, and that's what it looks like from the outside looking in, from what he's telling him. You know, I don't know. That's what it might seem like right now. And if he's not, like he said, he's not in a good place. That's his business. But at least I hope this part of it gets out where people say, "Hey, look, like just to not harass the victims as much." I don't know. I said that already. I feel like I'm talking circles here, so let's just end it here. But yeah, it just like in summary, it's like, dude, don't do that. You know, like, you know, you can still be successful and not harass, prey on women. But hopefully the victims are doing okay. Hopefully they get the help that they need, and hopefully it's so hard to like speak on something like this just because it's such a terrible situation for the victims, and like nothing is gonna make it good for them, you know. Like I would hope that something, like some little ounce of some sort of like validation or something can come from this. Even if they do get that, like it doesn't change what happened to them or how they feel or like the trauma they're gonna have to carry with them, or you know. So it's just like, I just wish the victims all the best. I'm glad their story is being heard as much as possible, and I do recommend you watching. How do you say this guy's name? Vosh, something like that. He covered it pretty well. I feel like he breaks it down very nicely. Yeah, that is all.